Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram, and that looks so cool. But I constantly really like, oh, I never really thought of that. It sounds really interesting. Like, I love how with stories, with literature, you can create anything, the most craziest stuff, but yet it can sound so much fun and so much possibility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of the X-Men, superheroes. As you know, I'm a big fan of Marvel, and I want to create my own type of X-Men type of story, but it goes real deep.
Yeah. I lay on the scare, you gotta glow. You gotta glow. She had my attention, she gotta know. This is the Let's Get Up podcast. I'm your host Zeke, and in this episode, I'm my friend Antonio to speak about his college experience and why he wants to create. I'll leave a content warning for any strong language used in this episode, and hope you have a nice day and enjoy the show. So, thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I'm really honored, and I'm excited to be part of it.
So, you can introduce yourself real quick, and then we get into the questions.
All right, perfect. So, my name is Antonio Marin. I'm a current third-year student at Brewer College, majoring in marketing and advertising, as well as minor in communication studies. I have a great love for the meat industry, as that has been an industry I wanted to be part of for such a long time. Throughout this past year, I've been learning so much about it. I've learned the hard skills, the soft skills, and the leadership skills that it takes to be in the industry by being part of so many internships like Harvard Partnership Company, Hearst Magazines, and one internship I want to be part of this coming summer is Viacom CBS or Velocity Pitch. Hopefully, I get into it. If not, I understand. Fun fact about me: I love Marvel. I'm a big Marvel fan, be it movies, comics, etc. One of my favorite superheroes is Captain America. Very patriotic, is very nice to me, and I just love how noble he is. Yeah.
Nice. So now we can get to the question. So, what would your origin story be, and how would you like to represent it?
Ooh, okay. So I'm a first generation student. My family immigrated here like a year before I was born, so around 2000. And just coming out, I'm like the star child in my family, which was a lot of pressure on me, as you know, because you grew up, my parents expect the best out of me, which took a lot out of me. Even when I was little, just knowing that I have to do my very best. But it's also felt honored too, because with that great expectation, you're supposed to be really responsible and know what you're supposed to do. And I felt like with that, I had to be an example for my brother and sister who came out after me. As you know, I'm the eldest. And my origin, I feel like a good moral is never let yourself, never stop growing, because I always want to achieve my best. I always have been are inspired by people who have been, communicative, had so much charisma, and I've been inspired by them, and I always want to grow because of them.
Nice. And how would you like to represent that? Would you make a book, a movie, TV show?
Ooh, a book or movie? That's a good question. I feel like I would make it more of a comic book, just a single issue, very straight to the point. I feel like my life is not that complicated to be telling you this big origin. It's just like a simple origin story of people pushing me to do my very best and learning that I can do my very best and never to really give up.
Got it. Got it. Let's get into you. So, what kind of drew you to media? Because with all my media, you want to be in media.
So what got me want to be part of media? So I feel like it began with just like that childish idea, like I want to be part of making these shows. I want to be the one creating these many characters, SpongeBob, Ed, and Eddie, just having all these amazing cartoons that, and just seeing how it has an effect on me, be it the lessons that I teach, as well as just getting to see like a kid in me in these shows, like the representation of it. I feel like that's how I got interested in media when I was really little. Um, but growing up, my family taught me to really pursue something else that would get me a job, as that mindset. You know what that is? Like people, if your parents expect you to have a job that's supposed to get you the income, be a doctor, accounting, lawyer, etc., teacher. So for a while, I had to put that dream aside, being part of the media industry, being part of these like creating a show, etc., and focus on my other skills, my hard skills, like math, being accounting, as well as being a teacher. That's why one of my first majors when I came to Brew College, it was accountancy. I tell my story many times that I wanted to be an accountant, and I guess that after being part of an accountant and just getting to explore that part of the industry, the finance industry, I felt like it wasn't for me. So uh, realizing that I feel like I would not be happy in this industry, I want to explore something else, which my mentor, my UMLA mentor, uh, Mark Morales, Mark Morales, I believe. Oh God. Um, he introduced me to the marketing industry, and it was an industry that I never knew that I could really succeed in or really earn a good income in. And he was the one who introduced me to it, and because of that, he got me to see like how in the marketing industry you could do anything you want. And since he told me about, see, I told him about my dream. I wanted to be part of the industry, media industry, when I was little. He ignited that dream again by getting me to explore uh, the media industry through a marketing career, and that's how I got myself into advertising and marketing communications, and getting to explore the media industry where I am right now.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I just kind of fell into it. Got that 0 in that midterm. I was like, you know what? Marketing. That sounds nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So yeah. And also don't be afraid to ask me any questions if you have any questions.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Just in case I forget to tell you that.
I got you. Okay, thank you. I asked some questions to explain or clarify something.
Okay, so now with that, so what was like, how did you deal with that pressure of being the first generation?
Ooh, how did I deal with it? That's a good question right there. So, so with me being a first generation student, I feel like I had to do some sacrifices that I did not want to do to really be successful first generation student. So my family really, like I said, the expectations, the pressure that your family puts on you gets you to lose some things that you really want to do ever since when you're little. So for me, I wanted to be a social out butterfly. I wanted to connect with so many people, but due to my family having this expectation of doing good in grades, doing great in exams, and trying to do your best academically, it caused me to lose a lot of my social life when I was little, causing me to be very socially awkward and not be able to make friends as, let's say, someone who has connected with kids from every age and every from every region, everywhere. That's one thing I could say that as a first generation student really affected me, like just not getting the chance to really connect as with people as I wanted to. That changed as time went on. As you know, when I came to Brew College, that's when I was able, as a first generation student, my pressure was on me. Like, since my family did, I don't have to say it, but when I came to college, being a first generation student, like the pressure of it felt, how you say, lightened, because now my family are proud that I am in college. Like, I'm the first person in their family to be in college. So the pressure they put on me has lightened, in the sense they do not expect much more out of me, in the sense of just wanting me to get a successful career now. That's what they just want out of me. And just knowing that got me to explore some things that I really want to do, be it connecting with people, meeting with so many friends and professionals, and getting to network and getting to love that aspect that I felt like I had to sacrifice when I was a first generation student, when I was younger.
You got it. Now everything's on the click. You did your part for them, and now you go branch out and do your own part for yourself,
Yeah,
by yourself.
yeah, that just getting to do things by myself, having that sense of independency was so great. That's one thing I love about being in college. You get that sense of independency. This is your life that you're trying to forge out, and it's just amazing just getting to have that sense of power of your own life.
And that time in college is like, oh, I can do this, and nobody gonna tell me no. Nice.
Yeah.
At the time, it was like we had to go to lunch for the summer bridge, like the summer experience, and I was like, I don't have to tell anybody I'm going to lunch. All I gotta do is come back. This is nice. This is awesome.
I get to do what I want instead of choosing what you expect me to get. I choose what I want to get, and that feeling is so great once you get to first feel it. Like for me, I feel like first started when like whenever I go to school, it was since my family had like a strict policy on me because they expect a lot out of me. I used to call them every day, every day when I come to school, like, hey, I'm home. I'm here at school. Class is gonna start, etc. And just feeling like they have that power over me. But ever since like this started my second semester where I just stopped calling them after a while because I knew they have confidence in me. They knew I was gonna come to school either way. And not having the chance to call them, just do my own thing in the morning. That it's not just making sure they know where I'm at. It's just that control that I have in my life just felt so good. That little step got me to do so many things on my own.
I feel you. But yeah. You only in your third year? I am my whole life is just after 2020, I was just like, I don't know what time is anymore.
Yeah, me neither. Like supposedly even though I'm third year, I'm technically a senior too, because I came in with so many credits. Like I could graduate in the end of this year and just have it. That's just scary. Like I'm gonna graduate. What I'm gonna do afterwards. I don't feel like I have a job ready for me after I graduate. So having that feeling of knowing that your college years is gonna end, but your grown up life is gonna start. Well, I cannot say grown up because right now we're all grown ups, but that sense of really being independent and not having school in your life after having school for the like ever since you were little, it's just very, very, I guess, scary, because you're losing that one aspect that you feel like you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Where that feeling like I don't know what's gonna happen next, and I can't stop it, but just gotta deal with it.
Yeah, you gotta deal with it. You just gotta deal with it. I feel like that's one thing with the school system that I feel like it's kind of flawed, because ever since like you come out, you were born, you're expected to come to school, like from pre-K to now middle school, elementary school, then to high school. Like that's like school. You're like school is like part of your life for like the majority of your life of your early years. So you grew up expecting like, oh, school's gonna be with me forever. So I'm not expecting school to leave me anytime soon. But once you're done with high school, you're really seeing that school is not going to be with you at all, and you're going to lose that one thing that has been with you for such a long time. You don't have to like process it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I lived through it.
Yeah, I lived through it. Like I think through it. I don't want to lose you now. You know what I'm saying? It's a very weird relationship you have with school.
Like I'd be like, I miss school. Like, no, I don't. I miss my friends, and I miss the environment of people.
Yeah, I miss the environment around people. I'm not gonna be there no more. I don't need to worry about my professor screaming at me of not being my phone. It's so weird.
And once you start working, you kind of feel it. I kind of felt the same. I was like, I don't feel any different. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm just chugging along.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, but working, sometimes you feel like you're working only for the weekend, and then just like I gotta learn how to like now navigate through that and see what's my next step. It's annoying, but
yeah. What do you work at?
I work at Group M.
Huh?
I work at Group M.
Who was that?
Media. I work in radio. Advertising.
That's such a good fit since you do a podcast. That's awesome, bro. You're doing double the dream job. They didn't know that you're doing the Let's Gather podcast too?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I got the job, because I applied for a different position, and then the recruiter was like, "Hey, I have a position open on this team." Because when they sent me the interview email, I was like, "Wait, did I apply to this position?" I had to go to my email. I was like, "I didn't apply to this position," but once I did the interview, I was like, "Okay," and then they helped me out, get ready to meet the hiring manager, and then that's how everything worked out.
That's dope. I like that. That's a good way you can get jobs. I remember that happened to me with Viacom CES. I'm sorry. So I was doing interviews for them for I think it was a digital marketing internship position. It was just this last month. I was doing an interview them for that, but they saw that based on my resume and based on what I want to do in the future, which is based on my hobbies, they decided to ship me from that to apply to interview for that internship to interview for an IMC internship with their internal agency, internal creative agency, which is the Velocity Pitch, which was really cool. Just getting to switch over to that. which connects to my hobbies that I want to do since you kind of inspired me because I see so many people with these creative ventures like and actually succeeding. I'm like, damn, I want to do. And I'm a big fan of books. I'm a big fan of comics. I also love to illustrate. I've been trying to grow my skills. I'm a self-taught artist. I don't say I'm the best. I say I'm very adequate in action poses, speed lines, etc. And I'm trying to work on shading and coloring. I want to one day create my own comic book. My own stories, all my own IP, so I can someday that'll be successful, get some money out of that, and just get to create something that is my own and I'll feel really proud of that I actually own. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I met a lot of like self-taught, like a lot of artists and everything, going to conferences.
Really?
Yeah. Because this week, for this at the time of recording this week, the guest is the author of the Harry Tubman Demon Slayer series.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your Instagram and that looks so cool. But I constantly really like, oh, I never really thought of that. It sounds really interesting. Like I love how with stories, with literature, you can create anything, the most craziest stuff, but yet it can sound so much fun and so much possibility. Like I'm a big fan of the X-Men, superheroes. As you know, I'm a big fan of Marvel, and I want to create my own type of X-Men type of story, but it goes real deep with the topics of racism, prejudice, media, how it affects the our society and all that. And I want to go more in the realistic aspect and how that actually affects like people, individual people who are different, who have their own stories, and just how they can be affected by this world. It's still gonna be powerful, magical. Like it still has that power fantasy to it that would definitely attract me because I know that all of us, even though there's some concepts that we like, we also like to see some cool stuff, action, superheroes, Dragon Ball Z. That's like one of my also main inspirations. And I want to create a comic regarding that. And a story, I have a lot. I like to create so many things. And I name them each with a certain topic or certain thing that connects to them. And with this story, I want to call it Project Generations. That's like the project name so far. And it's just like the reason I named it Generation is because I want it to be like the generation that breaks the stigmas. You know what I'm saying? That generation. There's always that one generation that has an impact with the world. And that's why I called it that. I want this generation of characters to change the world around them.
Nice. Definitely just do it because you can also do self-publishing. You can find artists and be like, hey, work with me. Or you can find editors and be like, hey, work with me.
Work with me. Do you know any?
No, but I probably could.
I got you.
Like probably.
No, I just want to know.
Like I'll keep it in mind just in case I come across somebody who does anything. I'll be like, hey, I know a guy.
All right, perfect, man. Greatly appreciate if you can. I definitely want to teach myself regarding self-publishing. I know a little bit things about it and the struggles that do come with it because since you're one creator, since I'm technically a one-person team right now, I have a lot. It's gonna be a lot for me to handle regarding getting the IP like copyrighted and all that. Actually drawing it, writing it, getting that edited, have an editor, getting to publish it with different type of companies. It's gonna be a lot to handle. And since I'm a one-person team right now, I'm a little excited and a little scared for it. All that responsibility. Since I already have so much already, but having this will be more rewarding, I guess you can say.
Yeah, definitely. So I know, like, because if I was to do it, I would just do like digital because that's just cheaper for everybody. And just do Amazon publishing and be like, okay, cool, this is free. All I gotta do is just create it, send it to them, and then they're what you call it.
Yeah. Digital should be actually good. I already know that digital comics are already getting mainstream, like Webtoon, Comixology. Those are some big digital comic companies right now, and I do want to hit myself in the realm with that. I also want to do some actual publishing books to stores because it's nice to have the actual physical book in your hands, just getting to read it, just see your own creation. And who doesn't like having the book in their hands? You know what I'm saying? I have a bookshop right now. From time to time, I like to pick up some manga, some of my own graphic novel, and just read it and just see the story myself, just getting to feel it. Because after a while, you get tired of looking at the screen.
Yeah, makes sense. But I think you got this.
Thank
All you
you,
gotta do
man.
is just start, and then it gets hard because right now even this is hard. But then you just gotta be like, why am I doing this again? And just
Yeah.
either find your old motivation or find a new motivation. I definitely lose motivation constantly, and I always kind of how I dealt with it was like, oh, the way I work is what's worked it and most efficient way. What's my goal? Because like every time I college, I'll be like, okay, before I make this decision, what am I going to do? Like, what was the main goal? The main goal was to graduate. Okay, cool. Whatever gets me closer to that is what I'm going to do. And then because recently I stopped like doing graphics like as like freelance because I kind of just lost it over time. I kept just like it kept becoming harder to create, and then my mind I was like, okay, I'm not enjoying this anymore. So it's okay for me to stop. And since I'm already doing the podcast, I pretty much had that transition already of like I was doing this before and now I'm doing something else. So I'm saying is that, and right now with the podcast, the main goal was like to do something and see what happens. And then once I got the job, I kind of lost motivation because I kind of achieved my goal
Mm-hmm.
already. I was like to get a job. I was like, I did it. So now why am I still doing this? So right now currently I'm looking for the new motivation of what's next.
Oh wow. So, so with having all that, what's keep with like you said, with you keeping yourself being here, we're doing the Let's Gather podcast, being successful in it, and getting to do this job. You're going to do. You're basically doing two things that are almost similar to one another, and similar like parts of the media industry. With finding that same motivation, I don't. How do you? What you love to do? What do you like doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your like key thing that's like, oh, this I love doing this for this podcast, and this is what I love about it.
I think like initially it was just like talking with people because a lot of times living in New York City we don't sit down and talk. And then with my
Hmm.
friends, they a lot of times they like become more relaxed and just we just talk and we have fun together. And that's what initially, and now I think is more of me seeing where how far it can go, to see how
Oh,
big it can get. Like there's momentum. I have momentum, so let's see where that momentum leads me.
oh, okay, that's good. Okay, I like that. That's a very good response right there.
Because this TDS, this moments, I'm always trying to make it more efficient, so it can be less tedious.
Hmm.
And then for work, I use it's mostly like the back end, so like mostly like the paperwork and stuff. Just like the planning side, not like planning, but like how do you say it? It's not like the execution. It's more of like the seeing where to get that, where to put the where to place the advertisers, the clients, where to place them into what shows.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah,
you're buying that's like the media spots, correct?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
for advertisements and all that.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
not like it's in the same realm, but not the same thing. So I'm not like burning myself out by doing twice the amount of work. That
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
So this is differentiation between what
Yeah,
you're working at and what you're doing with the Last Gather podcast. This is more creative, while your current job is more on the business side with media. I think
yeah,
you're media plank, right?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
And that was just lucky timing.
Lucky time. That's very good. I want to do that actually because you're doing two things in the media industry that's like very fun to do. Like I like personally, I want to be part of the business side of the. No, personally, I want to be in the creative side of the media industry. Like get to be part of the faces, get to really connect, create those creative stuff. Like be it like commercials, acting and all that, like actually getting to be part of the creative process because I love to graphic design. I love using different programs to graphic design, and I like to illustrate. As it's just so much fun for my. It's just so much fun for me. But I
Mhm.
also know that my skills where I actually succeed is going to be business side. So I know I could be more successful if I were to be the business side in the um, media industry, like being an account manager, media sales and marketing directing. I feel like I'd be successful more in that, just because I know my skills are um, more specialized in the business side rather than the creative side. Even though I would love to be part of the creative side.
I don't know, definitely see if you do both or work your way into the other.
Hmm.
Like don't
I
don't
heard
let me
that.
just. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, because I spoke to so many people regarding the trying to transfer from one part of the industry to the other, and the way I talk to many people about it, they said like it was more easy for people who were in the creative side to more transfer to the business side of the media industry rather than the other way around because of how the skills that you're using in each aspect are very different from one another. Where the creative side you're more focused using the soft skills, and and having that creative outlook and being different from one another. While and I won't say like the media industry for the business side is like the similar, but you're more focused with your hard skills, what you
Yeah,
know, what you're able to provide. And it'll be more harder for you to transfer to the creative rather than the other way around.
definitely. What I would say is to pretty much have a proof of concept. Pretty much
Mhm.
do your own stuff on the side. Don't like just always don't be tied down to a job, and like always work towards your own goals because like like we said earlier, how I got the job was because I had the podcast was caught the eye of the recruiter.
Mhm.
So since you're saying you work in a company, you're already in the ecosystem that they're looking for somebody who's like talent, and then they get have an easier goals what you call it having somebody recommend you for your skills.
Okay.
That's what
So
I'm
just
saying.
have,
Yeah,
that sounds good. Isn't that is that that's like networking inside your company to see if you
yeah,
can transfer like part of it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, got you. I want to do that, but I'm also scared because I feel like you're basically asking the company, y'all don't want to like you here, you can't go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You're basically saying that you don't like where you were put. I don't know how to feel about that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it really depends on who you're working for in the company because some like my company they really help you like move up and like develop in a career as a professional. So they have like it's easier to like transfer to the different parts of the company or different companies within the company to different sub companies.
Okay. Okay.
And they also know that you're not going to stay in the same spot. You're going to move up. You're going to evolve.
You want to evolve?
Like you're going to
That's true.
evolve as a person.
Okay.
And there's a lot of perks with media. You get free stuff all the time. I got a free sweater.
Oh
Got some money.
yeah. That's what I love about media. You also got a lot of free stuff. My favorite thing is that they give you sweaters. I love sweaters. Um, I got one sweater from Hearst Magazines. I was gonna get one from my other company called Harvard Picture Company, but uh, instead of me going out the front door, I went out the back door. I never got that sweater. I never went back in person. And they messaged me saying like, "Whoa, where were you?" I'm like, "I just left. Like, you guys told me to leave. I left." They're like, did you leave through the front door or how you left? I'm like, I don't know. I left through a door. The way it was like, oh, format was so weird to me that I got lost on my way out. So I left the back door. I didn't know it was the back door. It looked like the front entrance to me, but they just said like, okay, next time when you come to the office, we'll give you the sweater. Never came back. It went fully online. Never got the chance to go back and say hi to them again in person. I kind of regret that. It was really fun that internship, which could have been more. But for what way it ended, I'm really glad that I got to meet some amazing people.
Nice. You're the better state that I was in college. I only did one internship, one media
Really?
internship. My senior year, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna do that as well. When I started my freshman year, I was having that mindset where like just do my classes for my first 3 years and just get that internship on my senior year. So I know when I get that internship, people are gonna know I finished my years in college. I'm just gonna graduate and get that job. But one person that really opened my eyes was another person from UMLA cohort was Christian Hernandez. You probably heard of him. He really he really showed me that I had to do my best because he was like the ace, like he was the A+ person in Zeke and UMLA as Oliver Rook. He was doing his best. He was really in that hustle, and he was part of so many things. And since I was his friend, uh, I usually compare myself to my friends, saying like whatever they're doing, whatever they're best doing, I should be achieving that. And when I saw him achieving so many like interviews with so many people, I feel like, damn, I need to do that. I need to stop being lazy and just go out there and try to connect with so many people. And that's what I did. And he inspired me just to connect and expand my professional development. And that's how I got my first internship in my sophomore year. It wasn't my best internship, as you know, not all internships are the best. And depending on who's like the leadership, how the leadership is, the managerial style. Um, since my first internship was a unpaid internship, I was able to make it a paid internship, which I'm really glad with. Um, I'm happy that he inspired me to get my first internship in my sophomore year.
Nice. Yeah, definitely good. It was like an interesting class for cybersecurity. That's what I did, and then other than that, there's pretty much just doing a lot of Baruch stuff, a lot of clubs and stuff.
Yeah, clubs. I wanted to be
committees.
I think like I joined a club after I joined the industry. I wanted to join a club for so bad, but I was very proud of UMLA. And no, actually I joined the club before. I don't know, like so me join. I was since it was my sophomore year, I was doing so many things. You know, the UMLA 10th anniversary were occurring that time. Yeah. So I was the only person in that not cohort. What's it called? Committee. I was part of the UMLA 10th anniversary committee, and since I was the person doing the most things there, as you saw, because we were working together on so many things on that event. It was really a handful where I feel like UMLA was my only club throughout my first and second year because I was part of so much in that program that I got to make. I'm really fortunate being part of UMLA because it got me to open the doors and getting people to see me as who I am, as someone who's very dedicated in his work. And I feel like UMLA was the only club that I was really part of for the first 2 years, next to AMA.
America needs you, right?
Wait, no. AMA is American Marketing Association. I was part of I was also part of American Needs You, but I feel like at the time with sophomore, like I said, UMLA would just take way too much of my time. Where I felt like I didn't do much in AMY or AMA because UMLA was. I was doing I was the chair of the marketing communications committee. You know, managing the UMLA social media programs. The secretary for the 10th anniversary committee, being part of every meeting, getting to write all the notes, making sure everything was on task. My classes, yeah, UMLA was a majority of my life in my second year.
Feel you, definitely. And then what else? College careers. I'm just starting mine. You about to start yours?
Yeah, I think it'd be scary starting my career. I don't know. I'm still up in the air if I can. Well, I feel like I can succeed in whatever role I'm in. As in all my jobs so far, I never think of giving nothing but my best. Like right now with my current job I always try to achieve my best and give my very all, achieve the next goal and being fast, efficient. And with being part of all my clubs, I want to be best at the role I'm given, never failed my other club members. So I'm not scared of me failing in a certain job. I'm just scared of not getting a certain job. You know, again, doing the first step and actually attaining a position. Like right now with my interviews, I feel like even though I am practicing and doing my best, I feel like I am losing that sense of not saying motivation, but that sense of energy I had in the beginning of my, you know, when you're starting off in all this profession, you felt energetic, like, you know, I can do this. I have to do this. I can do my best. But now I feel like I'm losing that sense where whenever I do these interviews, I do try to give it that same energy, but that's not to feel the same as it was before. And you kind of feel unmotivated to continue with doing all this professional development, knowing what feeling that you might not achieve it and you keep putting yourself down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Like for that, even though if you lose motivation, sometimes you just gotta sit there in it and just be like, okay, this is how I feel. I don't know because I got my job 2 years after I graduated. You remember you see me in campus doing the tutor and everything, just working to something else.
Nice. Yeah, I know you were always there, which is always awesome. It's just seeing when we're in person. But it comes back to like finding that motivation, which right now I'm trying to find with everything going on. It's been very heavy on me, with my personal life, my work life, as well as my professional life. To try to maintain all of it together and find that right motivation is still hard for me right now as I feel like I do not have it. But like you said, you just gotta find it and make sure you stick to it to push you through all these things.
Or again, sometimes it changes, and you just like, okay, this is my new goal. It's like I achieved this one, or this one isn't feasible anymore. Okay, what's next? What's new?
What's next? Yeah. Definitely agree with that. What's new? What should I do now? Should I achieve it? How should I achieve it next time? And how can I continue achieving it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all focused on achieving what you need to do.
And even then, even if you work and you still probably don't feel like you have it. I was talking to my friend Frances yesterday for her episode, and she's 4 years, like 3 or 4 years ahead of me in her career, and she doesn't feel like she has it all the time. So it's going to be a lot of this, like you make a decision and you see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. But it's like making that decision is also scary too because you don't know what's gonna happen after. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can that decision affect your life? Be it big ways or little ways. Like, I feel like that's current me right now. Like, one of the decisions I was deciding was to leave Seek or continue being part of Seek because last semester I started paying my own tuition, and I feel like I didn't want to pay it, because tuition kind of a lot. But and I was faced with that decision. I talked to Andrea about it, saying like, I don't want you to leave Seek, as we feel like we'll still give you so many opportunities and so many programs, so many resources for you to use. But if you do decide to leave Seek, just know I'll be supporting that decision. Um, and just getting that choice of where to leave or stay was a lot for me. And I decided to stay and pay the tuition by myself, which I feel grateful to because now I know that even though I am working to pay the tuition on my own, not with the help of my parents, because I'm too prideful to take any of their help. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one thing with first generation students. Like you don't want your parents to help you, like give you too much, and you want to achieve on your knowing that you can't do it. And that's what I felt in my last semester, and I was able to pay it off on my own, which I'm very proud of. And again, the decision to continue being Seek I'm very grateful for it.
Nice. You're in that position where you're growing up. You're just like, oh, I'm an adult now.
Yeah, I'm an adult now. That feeling is good and bad at the same time because it's good knowing that you're independent. You're finally in this grown up world. You feel like you're capable with doing it. But it's also bad because I know whatever decision you're gonna do now is gonna be on you. You know what I'm saying? That's independence means that all responsibility, all liability will be on you. And just having that pressure is a lot.
Yeah, always don't be afraid to ask for help because I can't do everything by myself. You can't. Yeah. Nobody can do everything by themselves. I definitely ask for help all the time at work, all the time at school. I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Okay, then.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing I need to work on. I feel like I'm a very prideful person. I got it from my dad, but I'm too stubborn to ask for help, even though I really want to. Sometimes I've been breaking out of that shell recently, like more recent in these coming months. I've been trying to ask more people for like, are there any programs you got to offer? Is there anything that can really explore? Is there any people I can talk to? And asking hard regarding that with my mentors and many of these programs I'm in. But before I was very kind of stubborn in the sense that even though I really want to ask for help, I feel like I would be like a liability. You know what I'm saying? Like saying I need some help with this. I feel like I would have been putting more pressure on what I'm facing, what I'm dealing with, to on you. And I'm glad that I'm breaking out of that shell, but it's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like that little bit is there.
Definitely one of my main skills in Brew was finding somebody who had the answer. I'm just like, hey, I have a problem. Do you know somebody who knows somebody? Okay, cool. That's the person? Yeah. Okay. And just finding that like board of directors for your life and just like people you go to like, hey, I don't know what's going on, or like, hey, what do you think about this situation? It's always good to have people.
Definitely. And it's always great knowing that people will be there for help you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not on your own. And it's always great knowing that those people will be there. Like I know I have a certain friend group where I keep seeing them over and over. They don't know when I'm talking that whenever I ask for their help regarding any emotional support, they're always going to be there. In the beginning, like the first few years of me asking that, I felt like I was a little scared, really being open with them. But now, again, the chance to get to know them, I'm really open with them now, and I'm glad that they have the chance to be open with me as that I'm open with them. Again, the chance to help each other without any fear of the other person judging you or like any fear of asking for help.
Yeah. I think it's a good time to end. One last question is, what would you name your origin story?
What would you name your origin story? That's a good one. Okay. That's a very good question. I don't know. It's a very okay. I would name my story. Never stop moving.
Nice. Man, thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm greatly honored to be here and getting to be interviewed by you and getting to talk with you. It was so much fun.
You was there from the beginning. There was a concept, and then became an idea, then became a product.
Yeah.
That brings another episode of the Last Cat Podcast to a close. Again, I thank my friend Antonio for joining the podcast. For next week, I have Roy Osing to speak about his journey in business and to give tips to young professionals. Hope you continue a nice day, and I hope to see you there.